Hey guys, Not Demon here, or as some of you may know as Okita. I will be showing you how to make a neat HUD. I recently read on Reddit a couple of guides, here and there. I plucked my inspiration, I drew my inspiration from random websites through Reddit, through the forums, and I basically created what you're looking at right now, an extremely neat HUD. First thing you may notice for those who are astute enough, you may notice that I don't have a action bar. And this is because I created a macro that toggles it on and off every time I draw and sheath my weapon. So right now, my weapons are sheathed, so you will not be able to see the hotbar, but when I draw them, they pop up. And this is done, like I said before, via a macro. If you're wondering what that macro looks like, this is the specific macro that I created. So basically, the commands are slash hotbar display and the number of your hotbar. So this is hotbar 1 for me, this is hotbar 2, this is hotbar 3, and this is hotbar 4. So hotbar 1, 2, 3, 4 have been listed down here, followed by the word toggle. Toggle basically means switch between on and off every time you click it. And at the very bottom is slash BM. BM basically just means battle mode, so in other words, drawing and sheathing your weapon. So when I click on that, all those hotbars pop up and disappear every time I click on it. So after doing that, I just assigned it to a random hotbar that I don't use often. So for me, it was hotbar number 10. I just assigned it to a random slot in hotbar number 10. And then I went to keybind and under hotbar settings here, scroll down to number 10. And at slot 12, I just assigned it to the Z key. So now every time I press Z, it will pop up. Simple as that. Now, for those of you who are wondering, how many hotbars do I actually have? How do I set them? How do I, customize my hotbars? So there are several ways for you to do this. So the first thing you could do is enter character configuration, and under UI settings there is a HUD menu. You can mess around with that. I will give you. I'm not going to waste your time trying to explain what each of them do because you could just experiment and see how each of them affect your HUD. And then the other setting is here, hotbar settings. For those of you playing on PC, these two I think are not that relevant. They're not that important because those are for those who are playing on the PlayStation 4 because they're the ones who utilize the crossbar. For us, it's these two that are important. In particular, sharing. So hotbar sharing just basically means which hotbars will remain the same no matter which class you've switched to. So the ones that are highlighted are the ones that will never change regardless of what class you're playing. I'll try and demonstrate a little bit. So right now, I'm a ninja, and you can see these are my ninja skills, right? And I have hotbar 1 to 4 unticked. So these are my hotbars 1 to 4. Now, when I switch to Paladin, notice that none of these have changed, right? So I'll demonstrate again. So as my ninja, hotbars 1 to 4, unticked here. As my paladin, now they've all changed. You see? Essentially what that means is these are the hotbars that you would have to assign your class-based skills, your job skills on. Whereas every other hotbar that you've ticked, those are the hotbars that you never, you'd be using regardless of whatever class you're playing, like every other hotbar that I have up right now. Okay? Hopefully, you guys could just play around with it, experiment, that's the only way you can actually know what the hell I'm talking about because, experience is the best teacher. Alright, so that's done. Now let's move on to the next bit, the more advanced bit, which is this one here. So some of you may have noticed, every time I click on this, new menus open up, which is pretty damn cool. I mean, this really helps. I'm not even joking. This is so damn useful. So, how do you do this? This is a bit complicated. So, first things first, this one is not that complicated, but I'll teach you how to do this one first. So, how you do that is firstly by placing a hotbar there. So, you can place a hotbar there using the HUD layout. So, you have basically 6 horizontal hotbars and 4 vertical hotbars. So, I've placed a vertical hotbar here and 2 horizontal hotbars here. One thing to note is that you could change the size of your hotbars by pressing Control and then the Home key. Control Home changes the size of your hotbar, make it gigantic. I don't really like it, but you know, some people might find some use for it, so knock yourselves out. And then the other useful tip that you should know is by holding down Shift, you will toggle Snap Lock. So basically this means it will arrange itself according to the lines that appear on your screen under the HUD layout menu. It just makes arranging your hotbars a lot more easier, right? So back to where I was, you want to put a hotbar here and then 2 tiny hotbars here. And remember the number of your hotbar because that's key, that's essential. So for me it was hotbar 6 and hotbar 5, right? So once you're done with that, go into your user macros and you'd want to make 2 macros. For me, I've put one for the mounts. Let's start with the mounts. Let me show you how to do that. So for me, I use micon/micon mount roulette. So it basically just shows this macro icon. And then I've put in the command hotbar display 6 toggle. So remember, this was hotbar display 6. So every time I press this, it toggles that hotbar on and off. Makes sense, right? And I did the same thing for my jobs hotbar here. It's essentially the same thing. I've used micon auto attack because I thought, you know, that looks pretty cool. It's got a cycle picture around it, so it makes sense because I want to switch between classes. Get it? Get it? Yeah. So that's essentially the command that you'd want to use. And that's it. That it is literally that simple. Now you've successfully created a pop-up menu using macros. Right. Now comes the hard bit. This one. Now notice how the numbers change every time I click on it and different menus pop up every time I click on it. This is a little bit hard. I'll try my best to explain it. I'll try to go slow so you can follow me. And I do apologize if I've made any mistakes or if I'm umming a lot because I'm literally recording this in one go. I do not know how to make videos. I'm sorry. But I'm going to try. So first thing you want to do is you want to stack up all your hotbars there. So I've stacked up 4 of my horizontal hotbars all in this one spot here. I use toggle snap, bring it there. And oh yeah, you only want one hotbar to be visible. So make the other hotbars invisible. So hotbar 7 for me is visible. Hotbar 8, 9, 10 are all invisible, right? So then you bring it there, line them all up. And once you're satisfied that it's definitely correct, it's in place, you may exit. And once you've exited, what you want to do is you go into your user macros. You want to create macros to allow you to rotate between those hotbars. This is a little bit confusing. So if you want, you could just copy exactly what I did and copy the exact macros that I'm going to use, or you could just experiment with it and come up with your own design. I mean, I came up with this design on my own. I just plucked from the advice given on Reddit, and I made it my own. you could do the same, or you could just follow what I did. That's completely up to you. So the first menu, for me, this is the base menu. I used hotbar display 7 off, hotbar display 8 on. What this means is this menu that you're looking at right now, this is hotbar 7. By clicking on the arrow, you will switch off the one you're looking at and instantly switch on the next hotbar, which, if you remember, was stacked right behind it. And once that one appears, I mean, obviously mine is already filled in, but yours would have to be filled in with the new macro. The next hotbar would appear, so then you'd have to make another macro. And for me, I've put hotbar display 8 off, hotbar display 9 on. So this is hotbar 8. When I click on it, it switches off hotbar 8 and switches on hotbar 9. And then I go on to hotbar number 2, and I do this until I get back to the last hotbar, which is the one right at the end. And on this one, I use the same macro, hotbar display 10 off, so this hotbar display 10, and hotbar display 7 on. So now you go back to this one, right? Ta-da! Hopefully you guys get it. I really can't think of any way to make this simpler. I mean, I'm not very good at teaching anyway, but hopefully, I pray to God that you guys can understand it a little bit. I hope that I've been useful in some way. If you need any help, feel free to ask me in game or on the comment section. I really don't mind answering any questions. I'll post up the link to the Reddit post that I found online, and I'll also post up a link of MrHappy's video on HUD so that you can get a little bit more of a guide. Till next time, my name is NutDemon. I'll see you guys later. Bye bye.